Good morning, everyone. Welcome back into North Dakota today. We have another segment of Valley Living. Joining us is Realtor Deanne Bjornson, excuse me. Deanne Bjornson of Dakota Plains Realty and Specialist Rick Westby to inform us on the potential dangers of radon buildup in your home. Welcome, you two.
Thanks for having us. Good morning.
Yeah, so I'm excited to talk about this topic. This is very important.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yes, so for those at home who may not know, what is radon?
So radon is a breakdown of uranium and radium in the soil that has been there forever. And it turns into a gas, gets into our houses, and it further decays into these little particles which can attach to our lungs, and we can inhale them. And long-term health effects can cause a lot of damage, so it's important to test.
Absolutely. What really are those long-term health effects?
Radon is actually the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States. There's 21,000 deaths a year that are attributed to radon. And in the state of Minnesota alone, there are 1,000 deaths. And those numbers can be easy to go, oh, and kind of go over our heads. So the way I think of it is more people in Minnesota die every year from radon exposure than there are in my child's high school.
Wow.
All 4 years. So it is a serious issue. It can also lead to other health conditions such as preeclampsia in pregnant women or male infertility. So it's a risk. It's something that we need to address.
Absolutely. So how do you really determine these radon levels, and what do you do if they're high?
Right. So testing is the most important thing. During a real estate transaction, it's really important to seek a licensed professional to make sure you're getting a legitimate test. But they do offer test kits through all your major box stores too, so that is a good starting point. Gives you one reading, and then at that point, if it is elevated, you can reach out to a professional and discuss the test, if it was properly done, or if another test should be warranted, or if you want to look at mitigation at that point too. So really, testing is the most important thing to see where you're at.
Absolutely. And is this more common in houses, or where are the risks really the highest?
There's really no rhyme or reason. The neighbor's house could be really high and yours low. Testing is really the only way to know. Age of the home doesn't matter. There's a lot of common myths too involved with this, like, I'm never in my basement. I'll hear that a lot. If you have a forced air system, that radon is going throughout your entire home, so it's not just a basement issue. It goes throughout the entire house. Homes with crawl spaces, that is a open soil to the rest of the home where that radon gas can come in, and so yeah, there's really no rhyme or reason. Every house is different. Some, like I said, some could be high, some can be really low. So
right. One objection a lot I hear is, slab on grade, so we don't have to worry. Well, anytime you have connection with the soil, then it's gas. So all it needs is just a tiny little opening. And there's a draft effect too when your homes get higher, like, oh, we spend all our time upstairs. Well, it is circulating throughout the whole home and can be pulled up. So you just don't know, but it is indoors where it gets trapped, I think, to address your earlier question. So
yeah, definitely. So how does this really relate to real estate transactions? You mentioned how the gas moves throughout the home, but how is real estate professionals really make a difference in this?
Well, when working with home buyers, obviously buyers want to understand what they're buying. So just like you might get a home inspection to see if there's issues with the foundation, if there's issues with the roof, we actually go through that with our buyers at our brokerage, and I know a lot of brokerages around town. We have a disclosure form that we use that talks about different risks, and radon is one of them. And when I'm working with my clients, I talk to them about the importance of having a professional test the radon. And if it's not something that they want to do, for example, we've come out of a very competitive market the last few years, and people, have done things to make themselves look better as buyers. I just say make sure that you test it on your own, or you can test it during your inspection and choose whether or not to negotiate that as part of your transaction with the seller, or you may choose to mitigate it on your own. But just like if you wouldn't have a house without a fire alarm or a carbon monoxide detector, radon can be present, and if it is, put in a system and get it out for the safety of yourself and your family.
Definitely. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much for shining a light on that.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. All right, everyone, stick around. Coming up on today's show, we are checking in live with Shields Home and Hardware. That's up next.